And there we go. The microphone is on. I was actually going to start it with, it's time to light the fires and kick the tires and light the fires. Or something like that. Anyway, that ain't going to work. I screwed it up anyway. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. And of course, on the screen, you've got some footage from August 6th of Siggy Fisher, and that's what we're looking at. I like it. It's nice red hot lava, bacon. Gotta love bacon. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. Big welcome first off to our moderators, Arizona Snowman and Piggy and C&D Boy and Gary 24/7 Live AZ Skies and possibly Lucas Snow, as well as Joseph Fields and some others in the background. We'll see what happens there. But anyway, right now I do see Piggy is in there quite a bit, and that is awesome. Welcome Piggy, glad to have you in there doing your thing a little bit more, and nice to see. Anyway, let's get out the cookies here for the first person in, and I got to make sure I spell it right now. And Kevin Haynes is the first lucky recipient there, so he gets the cookies, and glad that he did, and glad to have you all on board here tonight. Of course, it is, what is it, October 27th, a few more days till Halloween, and we can hardly wait. The spider is getting anxious up on the roof. I see it bouncing up and down quite a bit today. It's getting windy again, and our weather bot still doesn't work. So that's a quick update. As far as everything else in the world, well, you know, we got more shaking going on in Iceland. We'll see what happens, even though there is no seismic activity according to our wonderful volcanologist. Too funny. I think she was joking though, and at least there was no eruptions as of yet, but we're still waiting. We'll see what happens. Anyway, welcome everyone, and we'll run through all the names real quick. Welcome to Scott Hartman and upset Dr. Fox earlier. Showed him my weather. Yeah, sure, Piggy. Rub it in, Piggy. You're definitely got street cred. Anyway, also welcome to Frank McLeod and Sophie and Sue Hayes, and of course our wonderful Yvonne Kunkel. Glad to have you on board, Yvonne. And Billy Bob Joe also here. Kevin Williams, Guten Abend Klaus, and Hermione Schaefer also here with Fluffy, I'm assuming. Going up the list a little bit more, Susie also here, Lizoid, welcome, and we already got Frank McClone. He's in there too many times. No, it's all right. We don't mind you talking. That's what it's all about, and I'm very happy everybody is conversing on here as a wonderful lava family, and that is excellent. Anyway, who else we got in here? Hermione we got, Sophie we got. Scrolling up here trying to look for some other names. You are a chatty bunch though, I have to admit. Juliet is in the house. Welcome, Juliet. And going up some more, looking for more wonderful names. And what was that question? How is the hogwash coming? It's frozen right now. Did I say Tom Dice? Welcome. And anyway, going up a little bit more, looking for more names here. Oz is in the house. Welcome, Oz, and glad to have you on board. And let's see, Billy Bob Joe also here, saying Mary. I don't know if is Mary here as well, but welcome anyway. And going up a little bit more, looking for more names. Don't see. Oh, yeah, Mary Jane is here. Welcome, Mary Jane. I'm glad to have you on board. And still scrolling up looking for other wonderful names. Boy, there's a lot of people talking in here. Oh, King Colin Deadman also here. And Lizoid, if I didn't say hi to you already, welcome. And I know OFU Lux from Luxembourg was in there as well. Might as well get him named already. And let's see. Who else we got? Still scrolling upward. There's a lot of chat in here today. William Bull, welcome. And I am up as high as I can get up there, and going to go back down to the bottom, see who I missed, like Nancy Buchanan and Cookster Littlefield. Welcome, you guys. And did I miss anyone else here? While I was scrolling up the other way, we got Klaus. Yeah, no problem. Frank McLeod, I think I might have mentioned you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hang on there, Frank. You're a little early. They still have to have Halloween and a few others. Anyway, other holidays, that is. Let's see. All right. Well, let's get at stuff, and we'll have a quick look at what we've got going on in Iceland today. And of course, there's no seismic activity whatsoever there. So we'll just look at all those earthquakes instead. So not a problem. Oh, let's turn off some banners here as soon as I can get that up to the top. And there we go. All right, I got those off, and we'll stop our canned lava and pause. Oh, I love having that power. 58 days till Christmas. Oh no, Yvonne, that is too quick. That's like less than 2 months away to get to Christmas. Scary thought. It's a very, very scary thought. Anyway, let's take a look at our harmonic tremor chart for Iceland and various places. And of course, Fagradalfjall is the first place that we like looking, because of course that is where the wonderful Ragnar and Bob and Siggy all live. Anyway, that's what we're seeing right now. It is on a decline here. Showing a bunch of little quakes in the area, perhaps, and one bigger one. I'm not sure what that's really going to indicate, but we'll see what's going on. So those are very small, and yeah, Sophie, it is a shame. Anyway, this time I'm scrolling the opposite direction. I'm going up to Astja. And of course Astja, because there is no activity there. I mean, we'll just look at this stuff here. And all right, well, we do have some quakes in the area. I'm guessing that we've had at least 1, 2, maybe 3 that are over 3 in magnitude by the looks of this. And we'll take a look at that area. It got really, really heavy and just before noon. And kind of makes you wonder what the heck was going on there. But of course, this is all imaginary. We don't want to look at it. No. It's real. It's just interesting to see what is going on there. And let's see what's going on. Piggy, I had an x-ray this morning. Okay, it's starting to heal. Still, I'm broke. I fell today on my knee scooter. Oh no. Oh no. That is not good. Anyway, we're scrolling down looking for other fun places since Astja is fairly busy. But we want to take a look at Grimsey, and we also want to take a look at Grindavik. And there's Grimsey. It did a big dip and starting to come back up a little bit. So I don't think there's anything there that is going to be of concern right now. And let's see what we have at Grindavik. And there's Grindavik, downward slope, fairly noisy down there, but nothing really indicating any kind of a eruption of any sort. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now. And I think that's about the same as Fragedafjall when you really look at it. And, you know, it's pretty much normal and quiet for the most part. Let's have a look at our wonderful earthquakes in the area, though, and that is always interesting. And we'll take a look at those as soon as I get to them, and we'll turn that off. There we go. And I guess, well, we'll start down on the bottom here and take a look. And really, not too much out on the peninsula today at all. For those not familiar with it, the capital city Reykjavik is right over here. And there's Keflavik Airport. And down here, of course, is Grindavik. And there's is where the Blue Lagoon and the power plant is located. And that's kind of that area. Anyway, a quick peek here. We got a 1.3 out here in the water, 7.5 kilometers down, was from a 2129, fairly fresh. I don't see anything else further out. So let's continue on here. Taking a look at this one, 1:17 a.m., magnitude 0.23, 135 meters down. Don't know what why it's so shallow there, but it happened. And we've got two very small ones from one here from 2:38 a.m. and it is a 0.727, pardon me, 3.3 kilometers down. And the other one is a 0.07, and that is 1.1 kilometer down from 8:23 this morning. And again, really not showing anything. It could be dropping or you know, the uplift still subsiding in that area. We don't know what's going on. Anyway, to the I guess northeast of Grindavik a little bit, and we do see a few little guys here. And this one is 0.53, 5.5 kilometers down, 326 this morning. 0.07, really small, 5.1 kilometers down, 3:16 a.m. This one is from 11:48, 0.52, and that is 4.8 kilometers down. Then we've got the one here that's 0.49, 4.1 kilometers down, and that is at 5:26. So really nothing major, but those are all in the same time span. Look, not bad. Thank you, Oz, for gifting one free membership. Oz gifted one. There we go. Got that written down. Thank you, Oz. And Sophie got that one. So way to go, Sophie. Congratulations. And that is awesome. So we seen it, and boom, Sophie got it. And Sophie, you now have access to those other wonderful emojis and stuff. So pretty cool. Oh my God, yeah, thank you. And thank you, Oz, for that wonderful gift, and that is appreciated. Okay, this one is 5 minutes after midnight, 0.63, 6.2 kilometers down, and that is very close. That's actually on the end of where the Storihruga is, and the lava flow would have gone past here. This is not underneath the lava flow. This is right beside it, so that's on dry land. Mind you, it's 6.2 kilometers down underneath that, and that's okay, I guess. The other one here in Merida, here 0.28, 13.2 kilometers down. I don't think that's going to matter much, and that is 1:45 this morning that happened. And the other side of the hill, we've got 0.61, 5.4 kilometers down, 44 minutes after midnight. Moving up towards Kilauea, we do see this 0.04, 2.3 kilometers down, 10:58 this morning. This one here, 0.2, 2.9 kilometers down, 12:05 was the time on that guy. And then we'll move over a little bit and see 0.5, 5.1 kilometers down from 4:16 a.m. And we have a 0.39, and that is 4.9 kilometers down. That was actually yesterday's from 23:54. And zooming out a little bit, and got a ways to go over here. We passed Crucivik and everything. By far, nothing happening there. So 0.67, 8 kilometers down, 8:41 a.m. for that one. 0.66, 8.4 kilometers down, 12:20 was the time. And then 12:20 we also had a 7.5 kilometers down. Going over a little bit further, another 0.88. These are all very small. 8.192 kilometers down. Wow. At 10:20, I'll get it out yet. Another one up here. This is a little odd that we're seeing them up here again, but not unheard of. There's a couple of them there at 10:34 a.m. for this 0.73, 8.9 kilometers down, and the other one beside it is, hang on, not showing up. There we go, 4.8 kilometers down from 10:34. And sliding over a bit more, what do we got? 0.65, 8.5 kilometers down, and 31 minutes after midnight. I'm getting a little bit closer to our other ones here, Katla over here. And this is a 1.1 kilometers down, and that was from 1817, and then we have this one from 2120, 0.4, 5.2 kilometers down for him. This guy also 5.2 kilometers down, 1.5 from 1525, and then the next one is this one from 2010, 0.6, 1.1 kilometers down. Now, I really don't think there is going to be any eruption in that area anytime soon, but we'll think about that. We'll see what happens. Anyway, 1.1 kilometers down from 2040, and here 1.2, 5.5 kilometers down from 2201. And one of the reasons I say that it likely isn't going to happen. Here's a little time lapse of the area over there, and you can see Katla in the background. And I recorded this earlier. I just figured, okay, we can watch the clouds roll in, and the people running. Look at them. They are all. I guess this must be an exercise area in Iceland. They're all running back and forth on these tracks here. Trevor, Trevor Winky Wonky Donkey, welcome. And anyway, these guys are running awful fast. I wonder if there's a prize at the end or something. But looks pretty awesome. I love seeing Katla, but we don't see any eruption, don't see anything smoking. We've just got some clouds zipping across, and that is pretty awesome. So just figured I'd share that with you. Love watching the shadows and stuff go by, and pretty awesome to kind of be able to view that in a time lapse. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that as well. Anyway, yeah, it's just about over. When it gets dark, it'll be over. Sort of dark. Shadows. And really surprises me how fast those people move. Anyway, a little bit of fun, and seeing those clouds roll in is pretty awesome in the background there too. So very interesting to me, but the area that we were seeing those earthquakes in would have been, I don't know if we can even get on there. Where's my whiteboard? I have to move that up, and we'll see if we can do that. And that would have been out in this area out here somewhere, where it would have been one of them, and that'd be pretty neat. And then the other one would have been somewhere over there. And I don't think that really is going to matter much for any of us. Swarm of walking bodies. Yep, they were definitely swarming. And let's get rid of that and go back to our earthquakes. As soon as I get it there, it'll switch. Anyway, there we are. And like I said, the area that we're kind of looking at was in here. And so we would have seen that one. I don't know about seeing over far enough to see where that one would have been, but that would have been on the screen as well. And again, that's 5.2 kilometers down, 1.5, so nothing happening in that area. Sliding over a little bit further to the northeast, and we will take a look here at the Grimsvatn and the area. 0.46, 135 meters down, 16 minutes after midnight for him. Then we've got this one, 1.64, 4.1 kilometers down, 7:59 this morning for him, and a 0.6, 4.6 kilometers down, 4 minutes after 5 a.m. And I'm really not seeing anything major going on here yet, right? Anyway, 12:23, 0.89, and that was 8.7 kilometers down. Then we've got from 3:22 this point, 1.44, 4.3 clicks down. Now we're getting a little bit closer to Astja. I want to see some of these other outlying ones here. 5.2 kilometers down for this 0.8. 3:15 a.m. for him, and then 0.9, 1.1 kilometers down. That's a little shallower from 1803. And then we have this one, 0.7, 3.5 kilometers down, 1801 for that one. And this is older, 6:05 a.m., 0.2, 4.8 kilometers down, but that's really not anything major. So Astja itself, I don't believe is going to have anything happening there. It's just too quiet there. Hence our swarms. And one of the things that we do have to talk about here is we've got less than half the earthquakes today in comparison to yesterday. So 540 today. Yesterday we had, if I recall correctly, somewhere around 1,040. So roughly about half. When we look at these, there really isn't anything super big in here that is scary. We do see some 2.3s, 2.9 kilometers down, 8:54 a.m., 2.1 there, 2.5 kilometers down. So they are a little bit more shallow though, and that is always interesting. 8:54 a.m. for that one. This one here is 2.26, 3.9 kilometers down, 7:46 a.m. Let's see these ones here. You know, again, they're coming a little shallower than what we were seeing before. This 0.59, 3.1 kilometers down, and that is from 1029. This 0.9 here, 1.7 kilometers down, and that is from 1243. 1.2 here, 2.5 kilometers down, 8:59 a.m. And this guy here, a little bit deeper again, 3.1 kilometers down, and magnitude 1 from 4:35 a.m. This one, 9:15 a.m., 0.5, 3.1 kilometers down for him. 0.2, a lot deeper, 8 kilometers down, 5:19 this morning. This one up on top of the hill here is 0.5, 5.2 clicks down, 8:36 a.m. for him. And that is kind of in that area. So we see a little bit shallower stuff there. But if we go back down on the bottom end here, and this, of course, is Herderbreed, and that is that flat top volcano, and it has 2 small cones on top. And that is the area that is of interest right now. And there are some in here again, that are a little bit shallower, but nothing seriously coming out to the top yet that I have seen anyway. 1333 for this 2.1, 4.5 kilometers down for him. This 1.1, 4.9 clicks down, 1708. 0.2, 2.7 kilometers down from 1047. That 2.7 kilometers down. Interesting, right? 7.7, 4.3 clicks down, 1652 for him. What else we got that's a little bit bigger? 3.7 kilometers down for this 0.93. 5:17 a.m. For him. Then we've got this 1.74, 2.8 clicks down, 14:20 on that guy. 5:50 a.m. 0.9, 3.3 kilometers down. And then we've got this guy here a little bit deeper again, 1.41, 4 kilometers down, and then was at 3:54. A little newer, 1.07, 3.7 kilometers down from 1009. This 0.8 here, 4 kilometers down, and that is 0.8, 3:51 a.m. This 0.5, 2.5 kilometers down, and that is that's about the shallowest we see down here in that area. 22:08 was the time for him. What about this 0.1? Again, getting deeper, 4.5 kilometers down, 8:42. And if we get a little closer to the mountain, 2 kilometers down, that's now a little bit better. 0.1, 1:57, or sorry, 5:57 this morning. This other one here, 1.2 kilometers down, that's really getting shallow. 11:55 a.m. for him. Let's just go check a couple more of these. 2.5 kilometers down for this 0.85 from 1309. Then we've got a 0.4, a little bit deeper again, 4.8, and that is from 4:48 a.m. Let's grab this one here, 0.46, 1.7 kilometers down, 8:16 a.m. This 0.47, 2.4 kilometers down from 10:48. Let's see, this guy 1.37, 1.8 kilometers down from 8:11 a.m. And this one here a little bit bigger, 1.81, 1.9 kilometers down. So there is some pattern here where we're seeing things close to the mountain are fairly shallow. Well, that one isn't. This one isn't. Seems to be right out in here in this area. So if there is anything going to happen, it may happen right beside the darn mountain. And make a new mountain. How about that? A new volcano. I'd like that. A brand new one. Or they probably rename it as something else. Or maybe Astra 2. Or Herderbreed 2. We'll see what happens in the future. Anyway, that's kind of what we're seeing there in our swarms. And I really don't know what's going to happen there yet. Looking at what we're seeing, we are seeing them come a little bit more shallow. And that is usually an indicator that we've got magma migrating upward. But I really don't know. I'm saying that without any evidence, if you will. But it's curious, though. So hypotheses, maybe that we're going to see an eruption there. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the other ones in the area here. We've got a 1.37, 2.3 kilometers down from 4:13 this morning. That 0.2, that's with him. I don't know. 1.2 clicks down from 1931. That's interesting too. Wow. Anyway, getting up here in the top, we do see the biggest quake right now, 3.95, 10 kilometers down from 2:13 this morning. And that is still fairly deep. A lot of these in this area are about that same depth. 2.07 from 2:18 a.m. there. This 1.5, again, just about 11 kilometers down for him, 16:14. And then we've got on the other side here a 1.3, 4.8 kilometers down, and 20:42. And then we've got from 18:20, a 1.5, 5.1 kilometers down. This 2.8 here, 3.2 kilometers down from 2:48 a.m. as well. Let's grab this 1.51, 10 clicks down, 2:50 a.m. for him. And is there anything new in the middle? 1.3, 5.6 kilometers down, 19:27. And maybe we'll grab that 1.1 up here, 7.4 kilometers down from 20:29. And let's see what else we got. A couple 1.1s up here. This one is 4 kilometers down, 18:20. The other one is from 16:14, and it's 11.7 kilometers down. Zooming up a little bit more, looking at the other batches up here near Grimsey. We don't see anything really large there, but we'll take a look at some of the depths. 6 kilometers down for this 1.1, and 3-minute warning for the Pepsi. I see that, thank you. And 11:24 for him. 1.6, 6.1 kilometers down, 23:14. This guy here from 15:38, 1.1, 5.4 kilometers down. Then we've got 1.6, 5.3 kilometers down from 20:44. And then we'll leave that. Kind of gives us an idea there anyway. Older one here from 7:33 a.m., 1.79, 10 clicks down. Let's grab this newer one, 5.2 kilometers down for this 1.5 from 21:10. This other 1.5 here is not just about 9 kilometers down, 16:59. 1.6 here, 8.1 clicks down, 13:56. And that should just about wrap it up for those. So as far as what could happen, thank you for the 2-minute warning, Piggy. As far as this area here, I'm really, at this point, I really don't know if we are going to see something happening now. GeoHub on his channel did mention that there is uplift, and that uplift hasn't, has actually occurred over the past year. So I'm kind of going, well, if it's, uplifted a couple of centimeters over the last year, I don't think things are imminent in that sense. So is there, in fact, a magma chamber that is filling up underneath there? We really don't know. But looking at some of the quakes, some of them are coming a little bit more shallow, and we have to question, are we going to see something in the near future there, or is it all of a tectonic nature? Or if there is a magma chamber filling, is it going to sit idle and cool down because it hasn't had enough uplift and be able to penetrate through all that it needs to get out? And especially if, seeing they're all beside the old volcano, beside her debris, it really makes you wonder what's going on there, right? But anyway, we're going to leave it there. It is time for a break, and I am going to do that. And actually, I wouldn't mind if Yvonne, if you're still listening, if you had any insights on what the possibilities are there for some kind of an eruption. Just curious, if you could throw something in there, would be awesome. Anyway, for those good people who are here, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I'm going to go on a break. Yvonne, gone to sleep, Dr. Fox. Oh, she heard my melodious voice and decided to have a nap. Anyway, that's absolutely fine. No worries. So if she isn't there, maybe she'll answer in her sleep. Anyway, be good, everyone. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. That would really be awesome. Of course, our target is to get it over 100. And of course, it is a break time, so I'm going to throw on some music right away. And if you're new, sitting on the sidelines, want to chat with all the wonderful people in here, by all means, give it a quick bop on that subscribe button. 1 minute later, you can get in there and chat. So, all good. And saying the audio's a little choppy. I do know it's windy outside. Not sure if that's affecting any of my transmission, but so far I've actually been watching the bit rate here, and it's holding pretty darn steady. So it's steady on this one. It's not so steady on my bunny stream though. Anyway, I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. Don't go away. Yeah, sure, Piggy, not windy there. Way to go. I'll be back. We're back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. I see a few more people popped in here, and welcome to Tetra and Cynthia, and we got you there, Trevor T. Winky Wonky Donkey. And let's see, did anyone else sneak in? Sharon Stewart is also here. Welcome, Sharon. And we got Kevin Haynes already. Yep, I think we're good. Gren Zed also in the house. Good to see you. And we'll carry on. And thank you for the welcome backs from Merry Halloween, Dr. Fox. Thank you. I don't want a Merry Halloween. Oh, hang on. That's the other Merry. Thanks, Sue, for the welcome backs, and Kevin and Oz, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart, of course, and thanks, Trevor, and Tetra as well. I sneaked it in from the back door. You got pizza. Oh, darn. That's what we want, pizza. I want pizza, but I want like some real toppings on it, like they used to be way back when they actually put toppings on your pizza. Back in the day when our Boston Royal used to be about 2 inches thick, and it was loaded with stuff. Nowadays, yeah, it's cardboard grease wheels. But anyway, instead of me complaining about pizza, let's carry on with the show. Going over to Sicily, and that's what we want to see. Actually, Tetra, when you're speaking of Pizza Hut, one of the best pizzas I've had in my life was actually on Oahu at Pizza Hut. And it was a thin crust, and typically I wasn't eating thin crust pizzas. But I tried their deluxe thin crust pizza, and it was absolutely delicious. And I thought, wow. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that. I did not make a time lapse today for Mount Etna. It basically was chugging along, being quiet and minding its own business. So I figured we'll just show you a few shots here of time gone by, and then it goes into the dark. And even if we go back to about that's just about 2 p.m. there in Sicily. Wasn't a bad day. They had fairly clear skies, with the exception of the haze that is happening from the sun hitting everything and drying it up again, as well as what was coming off of the volcano itself. So that's basically what we've seen there. Nothing really wild. Dr. Fox got to with till next year to try tacos. Never made it. Oh yeah, you need to have tacos, Piggy. Um, Ingredients include fresh hamburger that is fried up with some onions and stuff, spices, and then of course some grated cheese and some lettuce and some tomatoes. It's a shut for a reason for the season now. Oh darn, already. You're gonna have to make your own then, Piggy. Tacos or burritos or soft tacos. I like soft tacos too. Delicious. So one of the two. Anyway, that is what we were looking at in Sicily, and nothing really major there. That is what it is there right now. 1:45 a.m. and everything looks peaceful and quiet. So we will carry on, have looks elsewhere, and of course we want to have a look there in. Let's see. There we go. That is in the Azores. We are on the island of St. George, and when you're looking there, you can see the harbor lights and one of the small towns right there. And the lights you see off in the distance, you can't see too well right now, but that is Pico Island over there, and we'll show you what that looks like if we can get that moved up again, and hopefully that's the right one, and that one. Okay, that's the cove. This is the cove that we check the water. If we see white water washing up down at the shore in the center of that cove, we know it's pretty wild weather. But normally when it's quiet, it looks like this. The other one is, of course, this one here gives you an idea of what Pico Island is doing over there. And of course, the big mountain you see is Pico Volcano, or also known as Mount Montana, and it's about 18 kilometers in between the two islands, just so you're aware of that. Anyway, we'll get rid of that picture and take a look at the cove here in a second. As soon as I get myself over to that shot, there we go. We switched it to the cove, and move that up just a tiny bit. There we go. And as I was mentioning, if we see that white water in there, you know the ocean's pretty rough, and you can see a lot of white water right now. So don't be going out there with a little boat. You need, you can take the submarine out, and that'll be okay, because the waves won't affect that so much. But don't go in a little rowboat and get yourself a huge mega yacht. It's got to be worth at least 300 million euros, and that way it'll be big enough to stay safe. There you can see some of that white water banging in here. Wow, those are big waves happening tonight. You can see it splashing up over there. That is pretty cool. Haven't seen that before. So definitely some pretty rough ocean out there right now. And Kananaskis country also popped in. Welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. Anyway, let's take a look at the earthquakes that we see on Sao George. And we'll start out. They got a couple extra ones since I checked. They had 3 earlier, but looks like more now. 2.7 from 3:34 a.m. Then we have a 1.9 from 5:11. And then we've got another 1.9 from 9 a.m. and a 1.5 from 9:40. And a 1.6 from 10:51, and those are all on the island of Sao George, so 5 of them, so a little bit busier there than normal. And let's take a look. I'm going to refresh this map real quick here and see what happens. Come on, refresh. I hit that button. There we go. And we'll make that bigger. All right, so looking at what we see here, whoops, zoom in, there we go. There's our 5 earthquakes that happened there. 2.9, of course, and then the 2.1, 1.5, the other one is a 1.6 according to them, and the last one there, 1.9, and that is right there. Now, what? I don't want to support you, go away. Stop bugging me. Anyway, I'm going over here to the island of Terceira. A couple of quakes there. I do believe, that's about the same place as the last one we seen yesterday. And this one is from 11 hours ago. 2.1. Terceira is right there, of course, the actual volcano. This other one 2 hours ago, 2 hours and 38 minutes ago, 1.8. And if we zoom in here, you can see Terceira a whole bunch better, and all kinds of little mounds in here from past eruptions, and a pretty awesome looking volcano. You know, when you see you've got a bunch of cones all the way around it, and this, of course, is in an area where you see a few of those cones, and you can see them boom, boom, boom there, and along here. So possibly something there. We'll be keeping an eye on that, of course. And that is the island of Terceira in the Azores. And of course, the red line here, that is the what they call the East Azore Ridge, or sorry, East Azore Fault. And that is what separates Eurasian plate and the African plate out at that point. And this is your mid-Atlantic ridge, and that is the North American plate right in here. So that is what we're seeing, and that is pretty cool. I zoomed out so you can get a better idea of where it is. There's Iceland, mid-Atlantic ridge going all the way through here. Pretty cool. Okay, so I want to go the other way, and we'll leave that be, put it back on this guy, and possibly make that picture like that so I know what I'm looking at. And the next guy we're going to take a look at is Popocatépetl in Mexico. And let's get over there. Where is it? There it is. It is getting a very near sunset time there. You can see the sun is starting to go down. Lots of clouds right now, unfortunately, and that's not doing us any good. If we go back about an hour and a half or thereabouts, we see that little bit of a plume coming out, and that is at 5:30 their time, or hang on, yeah, 17:30, that's right, 5:30, 1800 is 6 o'clock, so that's what it was doing, but very slow moving again. You know, it's not a very fast eruption, and makes you wonder what's going on. And then prior to that, we had volcano gray for the most part, in other words, clouds. And when we get back to the morning time, we did have a little bit of better weather, and let's see if we can hit this at the golden time here. You can actually see a star right there, pretty cool. But we didn't see any activity from this. till about there, from 7:25 a.m. a little puff came out, and that was kind of neat, but it really wasn't anything super to brag about or talk about. It just kind of puffed from what I seen earlier, and maybe I was looking at the wrong one. No. Anyway, carrying on, it quit doing that just a short while later, and I basically had nothing till about here, which would be about 8:30. No, 8, 5 to 8. We seen that coming out. So nothing really a major happening there though. And I was just trying to find. There's the other one. And this one here at 9 a.m. and that wasn't too bad. A little bit bigger than the other pops there, but still really nothing super major coming out of there right now. Anyway, there you go. Gives you a pretty good idea of what happened, and then of course into the volcano ray, and we'll leave that there. We'll continue forward. I don't think we're going to see if we can see a fuego. Well, maybe it will be showing. Let's try that. Nope, we aren't that lucky. Oh, hang on. We did see something here. I want to see. Yeah, right about here. And that was at 8:59 or just about 9 a.m. And that is the billowing you see coming out of it. And that is big enough eruption that, you know, you want to keep an eye on one that is that dark and gray. And also look for lightning in there, volcanic lightning. Because the dark gray color is telling us there's a lot of material in there, and we want to make sure you know, that it could happen. We want to just keep an eye on it as it does it. Unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of clouds sitting in there, nice light white fluffy clouds that you can just walk right over there to it, right? Anyway, that is what we're seeing, so pretty cool. And by the way, thanks Piggy for that 5-minute warning. I got that. Anyway, that was earlier in the morning, and I don't think there was all that much more there. I really wasn't watching it earlier because it was offline. So taking a look and seeing there was just scanning here. Looked like there was another little bit of an eruption here. Yep. Oh, let's go back a little bit. Right there. So that is at 9:15 a.m. And again, you see how quickly that material is coming out of there. When it's moving that fast, there's good chances of particles colliding and starting to polarize certain areas of that cloud, and then you will see lightning on occasion. It's better if it was at nighttime, and then it'd be easier to see, or at dusk. But daytime, it's always hard, and it does happen though. So that's pretty awesome there. I'm glad they got it back up and running, and there were probably a few more in here. Yep, there were too. And here's another one. Again, very dark eruptive material, and wow, look at the speed of that coming out and throwing material out. That is pretty awesome. I didn't see this before. That's at 10:33, and that was happening. It even looks like there's lava coming out of here. Wow, okay, cool. I like it, and that is pretty awesome. Wish it wasn't cloudy though. That would be even better. That would really actually help us out. We could see what the heck is going on. And of course, lately it's been going through these spells. Oh, there's another blast. I didn't even have to touch anything, and it's blasting out again. And again, very quick blasts. So that material definitely susceptible to volcanic lightning. And yeah, it's nice to watch. Blackish brown. A lot of stuff in there. A lot of tephra, a lot of ash, a lot of water vapor without a doubt, and whatever other gases and other materials normally come up in an eruption. You're going to have SO2 in there. You're going to have carbon dioxide, monoxide, and a bunch of other gases as well. And it's kind of weird. Like I say, I'm not a chemist, so I have no idea exactly what all is in there. But there's going to be a lot of different things, and very, very cool. What? Gren Z? Oops, Gren Z. Spelled incorrect. Changed your name. Uh-oh. You changed Gren Z's name? That's okay. We can just call him Gren or Zed. One of the two. Or both. Gren Z. That works. Anyway, let's see if we had any more of those wonderful plumes coming out of there. Yep, we did too. And if we go up a little bit further, here's one that we can actually see a little bit more from around 11 a.m. Let's see, there. Actually, let's back that up. Just watch right at the beginning. You see that lava popping out of there? And then that pyroclastic material, the tephra and everything else. Wow. Just blasting out. So pretty cool. And thank you, Piggy. I will be doing that right away. And we'll go for a break. And yeah, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. We're going to go back to our canned lava. And that is pretty awesome to see our wonderful Fuego in Guatemala doing its thing. So I want to check first, is the ice cream boat in? Maybe during the break you can go for an ice cream. We'll take a look and see if it's there. Yep, the ice cream boat is there. And you can definitely go for an ice cream right there. All right, I'm going to put it on some lava. We'll let that flow and play. Come on, where's my play button? Am I on the right one? No, I'm not, or am I? Let's click on there again. No, that's Catla, that's why. It was the wrong video I was on. Oh, whoops. I hit the wrong button again. Okay, we'll leave it there. And for those good people who are here, if you have not hit that like button yet and you're enjoying the show, by all means, give it a quick bump. And also, if you're sitting on the sidelines and haven't yet subscribed and want to chat or just join in the fun, you're more than welcome to do so by hitting that subscribe button. 1 minute later, you can chat in the chat box. And also that way, once you hit that button, you can hit that bell notification. Then you'll know when we're on, and that is all cool. Anyway, bacon seeds coming up after the break, and that'll be really good. We got a few of them, and a few more of those wonderful carvings that Piggy so graciously supplies, in addition to the bacon seeds. And thank you very much in advance, Piggy. And here comes some music. Hit that like button. I'll be back. Thanks. And there we go, microphone back on. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you all on board. Welcome back, Dr. Fox. We missed you. You were gone forever. Forever? Holy Batman. That is a long time. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sue Hayes and Sasha and Kevin Haynes and Kananaska's Country. And welcome, Geoplanet Jane. Good to have you on board. Also see Nancy Buchanan is here. Welcome. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. And thanks, Sharon. And that's good for right now. And Sue Hay wins. She did the dancing competition. I missed something here then. Darn it. Anyway, let's get on to bacon seeds. I gotta stop my lava flow here. Where is it? And there we go. Use my magic. Poof, there. Caught it mid-eruption. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And there we go. Moving over, let's get to the bacon seeds. I nearly got my voice back. Excellent, Piggy, and that is good. Just rest your voice and go slow and trying not to yodel. Yodeling is hard in your throat, and hopefully that'll all be good. Okay, so that bacon seed, of course, was the last one from yesterday. It looks like he's wearing a babushka or something. Anyway. Klaus H says, oops, I need glasses. Glasses, yep, that. No, Klaus, and that's your new girlfriend. If you don't have your glasses on, she's got a smiling face, very pink nose too, and all good. Sleepy time, okay, and Geoplanet Jane, have a good night and get some sleep if you want. Anyway, here's our fresh ones from today. That other one was from yesterday. And of course, these two are definitely along the pig lines. Actually, hang on. That's not a, well, that's a guinea pig. And I don't think the other one, I think that's a hamster. A guinea pig and a hamster. How'd those get in here? This is supposed to be bacon seeds. Okay. Well, I guess we'll take what we've got, and we'll get the next one. I think Geoplanet Jane may have been talking about that pig having a good night, and I'm not sure though. This guy looks cool though. I really like that. New type of bacon seed noodle. Oh, it's a bacon seed noodle. Okay, and that is cool. Funny pig, redefined as a guinea. And I think he's cool. He's got that smirk on his face. That is just absolutely wonderful. Gotta wear shades. Yeah, what's that sunglasses at night thing? And this one looks like he's enjoying his day snuffling the carpets and definitely not looking malnourished. That belly just hanging out there. That's pretty awesome. And next one is this one, and that is a little snout bopper, and of course that is a very attentive looking little snout bopper. Yeah, intrepid rug explorer. There we go. And this next one here, of course, standing beside the mama and looking at the camera, of course. Pretty awesome. Yep, and smiling. And of course, here is a true batch of bacon seeds. These ones are very, very young, newborns, and definitely little newborns. You can't get much younger than this, and they are definitely looking pretty pinkish. Of course, they're under a heat lamp. That probably helps a little as well, but The little guy doesn't know how to smile quite yet, but give him time. Give him time. All three of them there will eventually get around a little bit more. Next bacon seed is this one. And shh, quiet. It's Piggy sleeping. Piggies, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little piggy. Okay, that's all the singing I'm doing today. Anyway, that looks like a very comfortable little pig. And definitely Princess Piggy snoozing in a very nice, comfy white bed. Piggies on a cloud. Yep, that is pretty awesome. And very, very good looking. And you know, when you see a picture like that, you know that pig is definitely not being treated badly. And I wish I had that kind of life. Anyway, next is our last bacon seed, and then we'll move on to the other ones. And that is this little guy. And of course, he's got a huge teddy bear. And that is what we're seeing. Of course, again, I do have to stress this is not a malnourished pig. Definitely got a belly on that one. But that teddy bear's a heck of a lot bigger. Grandma B is in the house. Welcome, Grandma B. Good to have you on board. And yeah, awesome. So thank you for those bacon seeds, Piggy. And we're going to take a look at the other carvings from today. Bunny, what? A bunny bear and a wee piggy. Yep, something like that. Of course, that was the last one from yesterday, but let's carry on with today's. That, of course, is a pumpkin carving, and I think that is pretty elaborate and very well done. You know, that is really, really awesome. This is our next one, and it is a beaming kitty cat, and that is pretty wild. That is a nice carving as well. A lot of fine detail in there. Really makes you wonder how skilled these people are. You know, that is really, truly nice. And let's see, next bacon seed, and of course there is the witch's brew, if you will. And I think that is a wonderful combination of pumpkins. Doctor, can you sing what? Nesum Dorma? No, I don't think so. I can't. I don't even know what that is. I hope it's not contagious or anything. Nesum Dorma. Don't know. Anyway, next one is this one here. And that is a daytime shot, of course, of a wolf. That is pretty awesome. And we'll carry on. And they should have put a candle behind there, though. Let's get this one. How do you get a picture of... yeah. Top secret, Kananaskis country. And I am really not sure about the head on this thing. I'm kind of wondering, is this supposed to be a dinosaur, or is this the devil, or what the heck is this? Whatever it is, it looks pretty weird. And yeah, if it's Godzilla, Godzilla's got a funny looking forehead. And yeah, that's what I thought it should be, is Godzilla, but the arms aren't right, and the face is not right. But a nice attempt anyway. So, yeah, good question. Is it truly Godzilla? And that is what we see there. And next one is this one here, and let's get rid of some of the back ones. And of course, this one is actually pretty good. Shark. And I don't think it's Shark Week or anything, but looking at it from back. Okay. Yeah, that's possible, Jane. Shark looks pretty darn good. I like that. And I don't know if that's a great white. It looks more like a great orange to me. Uh, get it? Great orange? Never mind. Okay. Oh, Canada. Yeah, beautiful maple leaf. Nice job. And I said I wasn't going to sing, so I can't sing. It is a pretty awesome maple leaf, though. They did a wonderful job showing how that is. And let's hit the next one. And this one, I have got to say, is my favorite for today. And the detail in this is just incredible. You really do have to admit, whoever did this has a real talent. And for them to be able to carve that into a pumpkin is just absolutely incredible. That is a Star Wars scene. You can see a bunch of TIE fighters and the battleships and stuff. Just absolutely crazy. And, it's just wow. Really, wow. No, I don't think that's the Star Trek docking station. This is Star Wars scene, is what I'm seeing here. So, what Isa? Huh? What Isa? What Isa? I don't know what you mean. What Isa? What is it? That is, you can see a bunch of ships in there. The bigger star destroyers getting blown up on the side, and it's a starship in the middle there, and a bunch of little TIE fighters working away, trying to keep it safe. And you can see the star destroyers in the background. Hope you can see that. It's the X-wing of flyer or fighters. Yep. Try to find interesting ones. Piggy, this is, it's absolutely incredible. And sticking with the Star Wars scene, here's this one. And we think that might be, what's that, BB-8, if I'm correct. Is that what that is? BB-8, also from the one of the newer Star Wars. It blew my mind when I saw it. Yep, Piggy. It's incredible to see the detail that some people are putting in. Like even this one is just absolutely phenomenal, and the detail is pretty awesome. No, this is not the Death Star. This is a droid, and it's called BB-8, and pretty cool. But anyway, that's our carvings for today. This is a good too. It is BB-8, yeah. And wow, incredible. Well, it's a newer droid. If you watch the new shows, Echo the Bot. Is Echo the Bot here? Oh, you think that's Echo the Bot? That might be Echo the Bot. Thank you for these. Yep, thank you to Piggy. She was the one who searched them all out and found them. Most honorable father. There you go. Look, I am your father. Oh, okay, bad. That was bad. I don't even know what the actual words were that he said there. But anyway, let's carry on, and we'll see what we've got at some of our other volcanoes. And hopefully that'll work. And What? You woke up, Poppet? And then, sorry, Piggy. I didn't mean to wake up Poppet. Why does Poppet react to weird noises? That's a question that I've got. Anyway, there's Merapi not making us happy. They've had some rain there for the most part. We do see it a little bit when we go back about just about 4 hours ago. No lava in sight anywhere on Merapi right now. And if we go back about 6 hours, still kind of the same thing. We do see a little bit of a lenticular cloud trying to form over top of it, but really wasn't anything very impressive, and we'll leave it at that for Merapi, which is not making us happy. But it is in the daylight now, and you'd never know that. And of course, here is our other one. This is Mount Ruapehu in New Zealand, and you can see the snow line definitely visible. If we back up a little bit, we might be able to see more. I don't know if we will, though. It was that cloud was hanging in there pretty solid all day, and that's about 2.5 hours ago. Looks pretty much the same. And they did zoom in on some areas here. Let's see what they did zoom in on. And this was on the side of the mountain. That is the ski area that they actually zoomed in on. I think they need more snow if they want to go skiing there. Anyway, you can see that they're unable to see through the clouds. And the snow line, of course, has moved a lot higher up on the mountain itself. So that is Mount Ruapehu, and this is the present view, of course, and that is what we're seeing. And let me put it back on Merapi so I can find it later. And looking at this one, this of course is Semeru, and Semeru wasn't all that great in the clouds either. If we back up a little bit, let me get to the right spot here. There we go. And we will back up a little bit at a time. This wasn't too bad earlier, where you could see it during the daylight hours. Not a bad shot. And we do see some cloud up top there. And it was a little bit of an eruption. And of course the other clouds are hanging over top, and that was at just about 5:45 in the morning. But if we go back into the nighttime modes, you do see a little bit of lava coming down, and that was actually very nice. That lava is getting a little lower, and that is pretty cool. And when we see it starting to come down, it's almost halfway down the side of the mountain. Which is really, really awesome, and maybe we'll see future lava flows happening from it. If we back up a little bit more to about the 4 hours ago mark, this is what it was like, and it continued to do its thing, not as intensely there. If we go back to about the 5 hour mark, I think we had some clouds in there for a while. Just hanging around. Actually, it's just smoke by the looks of this one, right in front of the actual crater. And moving back a little bit more, going to about 7 hours ago, that is what we were seeing then. And that is just after midnight, 24 minutes after midnight their time. And looked not bad. So we do have some bacon in there, and that is always nice. When we get to see a little bit of that from one of the volcanoes at least, and that is pretty awesome. Going back about 10 hours here, we'll see what it looked like. There we go, about the same. That is at 9:36 in the evening for them, so definitely would have been an interesting night to be able to see the volcano glowing off in the distance if you were living there. And earlier than that, it was pretty much in the clouds, so we're not even going to worry about that. And that is kind of what we see right there. Popping over to our next one. Actually, I'm going to put that one back on live so I know where I find it. Next one is, Jane, I hope you bring in cookies for everyone. Anyway, ice cream boat coming back in, and you'll be able to get your next round of ice cream shortly for the break anyway. And there, of course, Sakurajima. Sakurajima has been a little bit easier going in the last couple of days here, and we see that it is still off-gassing quite a bit, so that's not a question, like, has it gone quiet? No, it's just toned down a bunch, and that, of course, is what we were seeing right now at 9:28 a.m. Their time in Japan. Here's the close-up view of the Sakurajima crater. You can see how white that smoke is coming out of there, most of it fairly white. And that's telling us it's burning pretty clean. A lot of that is just gas, not a lot of tephra or anything like that in there. Very little ash. And that is, basically what we're seeing. Most of it being a gaseous extract and blowing out that way. Quick peek over, 2-minute warning, thank you. Quick peek over at ASO, and that is really quick because ASO is in the clouds, and we can't see ASO at all right now. Even when we go back, let's see if we go back about here. No go. Let's see. I think somebody had turned the camera earlier here. If we go back hour and a half, no, still nothing visible. And then prior to that, of course, it was really yucky, and that is this shot. So we're not going to see anything from ASO today. It is back in there. You can kind of sort of see the base of the caldera there, and the back wall a little bit on that side. Leaving it at that, we're going to put you back on the canned lava, and we will click the go button on that. And there we go. And of course, that was from Iceland. That is the Siggy Fisher from August 6th. And that is what we've got cooking there. Anyway, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. If you have not yet hit that like button, please do consider hitting it. That would be really, really awesome. Also, if you're new and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, by all means, give it a quick subscription bop there. And don't forget to hit the bell notification while you're there. And for those who need to know, Bunny is using the new Bunny Shelter Dome for getting some food right now, and seems to be quite happy. I have no idea which rabbit it is. It's a partially changed color, so it looks like a leopard rabbit, and I don't know if that's what it is, but it looks that way. Anyway, Bunny in new shelter, yep, you bet. And anyway, I'm your host, DrFox2000 here, and you're watching VolcanoX. I already said I'm in Edmonton. That's okay. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. I'm going to go say hi to the bunny. we go. The microphone is back on. Glad to have everyone here. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. And Piggy says, welcome back, Daddy Fox. Thanks, Piggy. And Sue Hayes saying, nice talk, gifting a membership. Yep, I'm trying to do that. It's called give a little bit back to the community once in a while. And thanks Sue and Canonescus Country and Kevin Haynes, and that is all good. And thanks Susie as well. I don't know who, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Greth Bro. Hopefully I said it right, but welcome, and you can join in the chat if you like. Definitely be able to use the emojis a little bit, but just remember only 5 at a time maximum. And Sharon Stewart says, I hear you, DrFox2000. Thank you. That is awesome. Okay, we're looking at, of course, Sakurajima, and of the ice cream boat that is just leaving. And there it is. It's heading out right now. I hope everyone went and got their ice cream. That is important, you know. And, let's see. No, that's not what we want to look at. I was just looking at some older Fuego stuff. And never mind. Don't worry about it. And trying to find myself. Where's our next screen? And it looks like it died. All right, let's try to all mediation, not mediation, to all. That's the one we're going to go to next. And that is in the Philippines. And as soon as it comes on the screen, I will look at it. It's not in very good shape today. There we go. We are seeing it in a very hazy state in the background there. And let's see, is that quality up? Yeah, that's as good as it gets. We don't see any off-gassing because of all this other haze. This 3 little clouds here might be part of it, but that would be guessing because I really can't tell from this point. Anyway, there is Taal volcano inside Taal Lake in the Philippines, and it is there. It is doing its thing, but not really active that we can see. Let's carry on, and of course there is Old Faithful, Yellowstone National Park. Let's see, Force Sailor, welcome. Glad to have you on board, and good to see you again. Yellowstone, of course, getting into evening hours, the picture starts getting grainy, and that, of course, is Old Faithful there. I don't know if it's just about to blow or if it just finished or whatever. We don't see that many people there. We know they've got snow on the ground, things like that. It's not the best conditions for going looking at Old Faithful, unless you're an Eskimo. Welcome, Judy McClelland. Glad to have you on board. And let's see, who else popped in? Well, I think we got everybody else for now. Anyway, that is Yellowstone. Let's go over to Hawaii, and we'll take a look and see what they've got happening. And we'll run through that real quick. This, of course, was from 1 minute after 6 p.m. last night, and that's what we kind of captured there. A nice blue-looking image. And let's get on there. There we go. Looking at what we've got right there is where the lava is coming in via a lava tube. And you can see all the funky shapes. Of course, that is crusting over the fresh lava, and you can see some of the glow spots here on the sides. The bigger ones are definitely where the lava is draining out, and of course that's caused by gas bubbles coming back up as the lava is flowing downward and out. We are barely able to see anything in the toe area right there, and really not a great shot with the cracks not even visible over there. or on this side. So let's refresh that, take a look at what it looks like now. And this is a daylight picture. 1441 is the time on that. It actually looks like our lava level is a little lower today. And hey, what happened to that piece that was here? It's gone. It's completely gone. The lava monsters ate it. The lava workers must have pushed it in, and it's gone. So our lava pond is getting bigger, you guys. That is very interesting. That's all gone from the side here. Very, very weird, interesting, neat. Anyway, we can see our lava toe area here looking fairly deep and empty. That's probably about 5 meters downward, and that's a long way. That's like 15 feet of no lava. Even if you're only taking a couple meters of that, still a lot of lava missing out of there right now. We do see the cracking a little bit better, and it looks like we've got a new crack on the back side here as well. So our lava pond may be extending itself eventually as well. This is new, so I didn't see this before. Very interesting that we are getting a bigger lava pond, and it looks like some of that lava was starting to flip or break right there. And it's really neat when we see the crust all flipping over, and it does that in larger pools, and it's really quite neat to see that. And let's carry on to our next picture, and that is this one. Of course, it updated, and or did it? It's not a very good picture. Yeah, it did. It did update. So there's your primary vent over here. The little hornito that feeds that lava tube is right about in here. And then we see some other spots that are smoking again on the side of the caldera here, fairly high up. We see some smoke as well. Same within the back spots here, and it seems that it's very predominant today as far as that smoke. They might have a higher humidity level or something, so we're just able to see it more. This one, of course, yep, they all updated on me, darn it. I had those nice pictures. They had a real nice glow to them last night. Caught them at the right time. The only one that stayed, of course, was the blue one there. But anyway, primary vent there. This is from the other angle. Instead of looking this way, we are now looking from this side over. And that is what we see there. Lava pond, toe area, Pig Island over here, which you can not see because of all the smoke coming from that little smoker right behind it. But that is the primary vent, and the lava tube output would be right in here from that little hornito, and that is underneath there. A quick shot at the thermal cam, and that is what the thermal looks like updated for today. And there again, a primary vent. There's your little hornito, and that lava tube, of course, is buried underneath the crusted over lava right in here. And the lava level definitely looks lower than it normally is. And we can see the toe area right there. Still looks a little bit on the light side around the edges, so likely some heat coming up since this is a thermal camera. It will see that heat, and that is what we've kind of noticed there. That's it for Kilauea. Let's pop over to the other one, and that will be oh darn it, you're not giving us a picture. How about this one? That was the Hawaii map that it just loaded, but this is actually from yesterday at 1746. That's roughly the right time for all these pictures. That is the caldera up in Mauna Loa. We don't see anything there. Let's refresh it, see if we got a new one. There we do, and it still pretty much looks the same. The sky looks like it's possibly raining up there a little bit or something like that. But that's what we're seeing right now at Mauna Loa. And I think it is time to have a quick peek at earthquakes. So let's take a look at the Hawaiian earthquakes first, of course, and getting myself on the right map. Right in here, we see that little red spot. And that, of course, is Hawaii. And there's your Hawaiian island chain. And as we zoom in a little bit, Oahu, Maui, the big island of Hawaii. And we'll zoom in, have a look, and see what we've got here as far as the quakes. We'll start out with this new one, and that is a 1.9, 32.1 kilometers down from 1844. Then we've got an older one here at 2.0 from 1133, 32.8 clicks down. 2.4 from 1636, and that is all right there, 28.3 kilometers down. Then looking at this one, 2.4 from 1919 at 10.5 kilometers down. Here's one 1.9 from yesterday at 1938 at 10.7 kilometers down for that one. 2.1, and that is 1410, 33 kilometers down. 1.9 from 1343, 33.2 clicks down. 2.3 from 1202, and that is from 35 kilometers down. Grabbing this 1.7 here, 1725, 35.4 kilometers down. And getting into this one, 2.1, 1:17 a.m., 32.6 kilometers down. And getting the other new one, 2.2, 1755, 37 kilometers down. Let's grab these guys out here. 2.0, 11:33 at 32.8 clicks down. And this one at 2.4 from 1636, 28.3 kilometers down. And then we've got this 1.8 from 934, and that is 31.5 kilometers down. 2.0, 1414 is the time on that one, 32.1 kilometers down. And this one here to wrap up the Pahala area, 2.1 from yesterday, 2357, 30 kilometers down. Let's climb the hill up on top of Mauna Loa and see what we've got up there. Most of the activity directly below the caldera, or very close. 1.7, 9:51 a.m., and that is 300 meters above sea level. And then we've got this one, 1.7, and that is from 1930 at 300 meters above sea level. So those are just about the same, eh? Just a couple hours between them. This guy here, 2.0, and that is 33 kilometers down. And then that is at 3 a.m., not 33 kilometers down. That is 1 kilometer above sea level. My bad. Trying to do too many things at the same time doesn't work, right? And next one is a 2.6. That's a little bit bigger, and that was 1154, 900 meters above sea level for that one. And then we've got this guy here, 1.7, yesterday's from 2006, 2 kilometers above sea level, and the last one, another 2.4, yesterday's 1934. And that is 1.4 kilometers above sea level. I don't see anything else right there. We do have a quake over here, a fair-sized one right near Kilauea, and that one is a 3.0 at 16:19 was the time on it. 20.3 kilometers down for that one. So that's quite a ways underneath that. Not sure how that will affect it, but that is right there. So pretty awesome to be able to see that. Hopefully we'll see some more quakes in this area and get some more lava in there. What do you think is going on in Pahala? Oz, it's sitting right over top of the hot spot. Okay, that's what's going on there at Pahala. And it's moving and getting pushed around. And because of the depth underneath there, it being roughly, between 26 and about 37 kilometers down. That doesn't mean that we're going to have the magma popping up right there. It still has a kind of a long distance to get up to the top, to the surface. So whether it finds some lava tubes to come up in Mauna Loa, or over here in Kilauea, or one of the Fissure 8 maybe, something like that, or even out in the ocean in Luihi Seamount. Those are all potential possibilities to happen in those areas. So that's something, it's still up in the air. The quakes, as long as they're way down, that's a pretty good indicator. It's just magmatic movement down below, and it's not tectonic, it's magmatic, and very, very low down in the lithosphere. So it's hard to say what we're going to see. Anyway, let's zoom out from there. I hope that kind of answers what you needed there, Oz. But Pahala is what it is. It's, like I say, it's basically sitting on that hot spot. And that's kind of what we've got going on. Anyway, looking at what we see in North America, not bad. And Pahala is the source, basically, yep, way underneath Pahala. Looking at Mexico, we see a couple more quakes along the coast here. The other ones were up here a little bit further before, so this one is kind of a new area, 5.0 on this guy, 2:45 a.m., 21.7 kilometers down, and he had a little friend there, 4.9 at 8:02 a.m., 24.8 clicks down for him, and I got hiccups. Oh no. We do see a new one out here at South Sandwich Islands, 5.4. That was from yesterday at 1933, and that is 76.9 kilometers down. Do have a new one here at Taupo, and that is interesting. New Zealand, Taupo, right in town. And if we zoom in, we can see where it actually is. Actually, no, it's not right in town. Taupo is here, and this is actually up in the hills. So that is what we're seeing over there. Taupo is actually over here, and you can't see it, it's in the water. And that's interesting that we're getting a 4.7 there. 1519 was the time on it, and 97.6 kilometers down. That's the first quake we've seen in that area, so that'll be kind of interesting. And I don't know, well, hopefully they won't get too many more there. This one out here near Tonga, and they're calling it Fiji Islands, but I don't know, it may be a part of Fiji there, but 4.6 is the magnitude from 1402, 174.3 kilometers down from today. This one is definitely in Fiji, and they're calling it Willis and Futuna. Get your tunas. Anyway, 426.9 kilometers down to get your Futuna. And let's carry on here and take a look at a couple of the other ones. Papua New Guinea, 4.6. And that was from 1517, 107.6 kilometers down for him. A little bit bigger one here, Papua New Guinea as well, 5.2 at 9:57. And then we've got this guy here, Banda C, right near Luolatok, and that is 4.1 from 1202, 153.4 kilometers down. These ones are fairly new, 4.5, and that is just south of Indonesian islands here. And that is from 1530, and that is 10 kilometers down. This one is north of that fissure, and we see 4.6, 11:36 a.m., 38.9 kilometers down for him. This one right over here by Ibu or Dacono, 4.8, and that is 12:51 a.m. or p.m. That happened. 10 kilometers down. There we go. Getting up to Japan, we see out on the ridge here Izu Islands, 4.5 from 8:36, 10 kilometers down. Moving up a little bit more, 5.0 up here in Japan. From 7:25 a.m., 26.8 kilometers down for him, 4.7, and that's getting into the disputed islands up there, 12:01, 133.6 kilometers down for him, and moving up Coral Islands, 5.2, and that is 4:10 a.m., 50.2 kilometers down. We've got one here on the Kamchatka Peninsula, and that is 4.5 in magnitude. Yesterday's from 2026. And looking for other ones, we don't see anything else on this map in this region. It is time for a break, you guys. So I need to do my thing. And Piggy says break time, thank you. And we'll put you back on some canned lava and make sure that is still working. Did we stop that canned lava? And let's make that work. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll continue on with our other earthquake maps and stuff like that, and weather, SO2, and so on when I get back from the break. So for those good people that are here, we're trying to get up to 100 likes. Right now I'm showing 80 on my screen. Let's see if we can get that like button if you haven't hit it already. That would be really nice to help us out. Of course, YouTube Analytics takes over really well at 100 likes. And also, if you're sitting on the sidelines and you have not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Anyway, on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and then I will be back. Keep smiling, be good, and play nice in the lava. Don't grab any of it. And, no food fights. Hey, Andy Morgan, welcome. Good night, Piggy. Sleep well. Pleasant dreams. And we're back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. Thank you for the welcome backs from Cananaska's country, and Oz, and Andy, and Sasha, and I hear you from Sharon Stewart. Thank you, and all good. Anyway, we were doing earthquakes, so let's go back and take a look at some earthquakes in the Canary Islands. How about that? We haven't looked there yet, so we'll take a quick peek. I did refresh it, and we don't see anything up here on the East Azore fault line. And let's zoom into what we're seeing. Right now we do have a new one, and that is right in between Gran Canaria and Tenerife, and that is a 1.4, 1 kilometer down in the middle of the water there. So all cool, but let's take a look at by the way, seismic activity here really down quite a bit. You know, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quakes over there, and just a few over here. So really not that many. Sharon Stewart saying, I hear you. I hear you. I'd actually, Sharon, it'd be amazing if you could record that. I hear you, Dr. Fox, and send it to me, and then I can play it when you say that. Kidding. It's okay. Never mind. Just some humor. Silly humor from Silly Humans. And One Fish 26, welcome. Anyway, there you can see the circle around the one that I'm on top of, and that is from 3:58 a.m. Just about 3:59, 11 kilometers down for that 1.3. The next one is, of course, a 1.1. 3:59 is the time on it, 11 kilometers down. So those two were very close together. And not sure if the same thing triggered them. That'd be awesome. You will try to send it, maybe. Yeah. And I'd make it a good voice, see? Anyway, we see this a 1.6 on the edge of that ridge, and that's a little scary because that's just about right over top of the tunnel, if I recall correctly, and 1.6 there is not a good thing. That is where the tunnel entrance is that goes over to the other side to San Pedro, and a little bit on the scary side in that sense. That was from 11:42, so 6 kilometers down, and that's what we've got there. And that's it for La Palma and the Canary Islands, so relatively quiet there as well. For the most part. Let's go over to the other map. I'm going to refresh this one. I didn't get a chance to do that. We'll refresh it real quick. And this is, of course, volcanoesandearthquakes.com if you want to go there and get this particular map. You are more than welcome to do so. Anyway, this gives us a pretty good idea of what our shakers were like, as well as where the volcanoes are in relationship to the rest of the world, really. And looking here, we've got Grimsvatn and Asja showing up here in Iceland, and of course St. George volcano, as well as Terceira in there in the Azores. Michael volcano down here, South Sandwich Islands, and then the rest continue onward. And Chile has had some more stuff happening with some of theirs. Sue sent me something today, and I forgot to even look at it here. And that is in Ecuador. It's the Cotopaxi volcano. Let me see if I can bring that up. We'll see if that'll work over there, and we'll try to bring it up via volcanodiscovery.com, and we'll slide that down there. There's the volcano, and that is in Ecuador. so alert status raised to yellow, and not sure the exact location of that guy, but that is again volcanodiscovery.com if you want to go there. And volcanodiscovery.com is also one of the other sources that we use quite a bit here. Plume of plume of ash rose to an altitude of 28,000 feet, or 8,500 meters. So it was busy doing its thing, and that is in Ecuador. And let's see, generally decreases from, okay, I'm just looking at what we've got here. Anything, okay, nothing really important there other than showing how high that gas plume was. Sounds, Cotopaxi sounds like a dragon name. Okay. I don't know what you're dragging, but all right. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that guy in there real quick. And that has got to be here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see it in Ecuador, and that is exactly where it is. So in addition to Sangay and Reventador, we also have Cerro Negro there, but we also see this Cotopaxi volcano, and that is its location. So we'll see if it does something in between the two, goes to a red or something. Would be interesting. Anyway, looking at the rest of the Ring of Fire, everything in Central America pretty normal. Looking over at the Aleutian Islands, nothing new there. Nothing new in Kamchatka. Japan is still the same. Nishimoshima is still working away as an orange one. And looking at our Philippines, very normal there. And Barren Island volcano, never hear anything about it. It's very quiet. And the rest of them are all still the same. And of course, even here in New Zealand, where you got Taupo, the one that had that earthquake of 4.7, and then White Isle volcano, and then of course Tofua and the Home Reef volcano are still there. So that is it for our volcano map. If we zoom out a little bit, and just so people who are not familiar with this map, you can turn on all the volcanoes. The green ones, of course, are the ones that are not doing any erupting right now. They're quiet, but you can certainly see how many volcanoes there are on the planet using this map, and there's a lot. You got about 1,700 different volcanoes that we are aware of that are in what we call a volcanic state, and they're not dormant. There's some black ones on here that are dormant, and those have not gone off for a long time. So the other stuff, though, very well considered to be active, or potentials of going on. And there is, of course, the Great Ring of Fire all the way around the Pacific, and that really gives you a pretty good idea of, you know, what it does. And then even down here in Antarctica, you see the ones down here. Of course, Erebus right there, but there's a bunch of other ones very close. And South Sandwich Islands, this is one that a lot of people don't really look at. We know Michael Volcano is in the middle here, but there's a bunch of other ones right out there as well. Same thing goes with here in Chile, all the way down to the bottom end. And that is kind of bizarre, you know. Just imagine if a third of those volcanoes erupted all at once. We'd be in a volcanic winter really quick. Anyway, I will leave that alone. Let's go over to our SO2 map. I actually got to load that up. or switch here, and we'll do that real quick. And that is as fresh as we get it. And it's telling us it's going to rain tonight. I'm okay with that. And it doesn't matter as long as it's rain, not snow. We're all right. Looking at what we see, Canada looks pretty normal, nothing really major as far as SO2. We see the stuff coming off of Kamchatka, coming out here through the Bering Sea and ending up in the Pacific. And hopefully that's going to get some rain on it to get it out of the skies. We do see the jet stream really pushing in here hard, and it's hitting all the way down and back up. And that is what's bringing the cold air into the U.S. And then when we get down a little bit further, we see the circulation here is almost reversed from what was coming into the Gulf. And we're not seeing the stuff from Mexico going in there right now. It's sitting over Mexico, fairly stagnant. The other stuff from Guatemala, Fuego, and the other places further down through Central America is coming out into the Pacific and going every which way, as you can see where these lines are going. And here we've got that extra plume, and that may be from our new volcano there in Ecuador. So that could have a definite relevance to what we're seeing there. Not so bad down here in Argentina. Chilean volcanoes still throwing a lot of the SO2 into Argentina, but not that bad. Buenos Aires, of course, human population stuff there, dumping a little, a little into Uruguay. And then we also have here Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo doing their thing. Looks cleaner down on the bottom end. Very little coming off of Michael volcano down there. Looking at what we've got here in New Zealand, White Isle volcano still off-gassing fairly heavily. And then we've got Tofua up here in Tonga. Very little coming from the refinery there near Melbourne, and then the coking plants north of Sydney continuing. And Yasur, of course, we can have a quick peek at Yasur. If we go full screen here and hit that play button, and this is their time lapse of Yasur, and that is supposed to be the longest erupting volcano on the planet that we know of, with holding somewhere around, what is it, 780 years, or is it 870 years? But it's way up there as far as the amount of time that this thing has been recorded to be erupting. So a long time that way. Anyway, moving on, Papua New Guinea and those areas still pretty normal. Luolatok over here, doing its thing. And of course, Semeru and Merapi are working together. I don't know if there's anything coming out of Raun, but it is there. Jakarta and Krakatau work together to make that a little bit of a plume. And as we get up here, this would be from Ibu and Dakono doing their thing. I see that a storm has moved down a little bit from where it was, and it's drawing in a lot of that SO2, helping clear out some of that stuff out of the air. And of course, here in the Philippines, we have our Mayon and Bulusan, and this area is still off-gassing somewhat. And then here is Taal volcano, the one we don't see very well, and we know that, hopefully it's coming from there, but we do also know there's a lot of people pollution in that area. Industrial stuff here in Taiwan going up and looking. Suwanosi-jima would be from here. Some of that, and also Sakurajima in here. So some of that would be messed around in here. I don't know exactly the way the wind currents it looks like it's supposed to be blowing out into the Pacific, but it looks like possibly recirculating there, and some of the extra stuff from China blowing in there as well. We already talked about the Kamchatka Peninsula, so that's all cool, and we can leave that be. Take a look down on the bottom. We don't see any really fancy, weird figures or patterns down there right now, so things are a little easier. And Reunion Island, a little bit of a plume there. We actually see more coming from Madagascar than we do from Reunion Island. And then, of course, the gold smelting plants down there in South Africa. Moving up, DR Congo, a couple volcanoes, and some coking plants there as well. Urta Ale would be out, sorry, would it be Urta Ale? Yeah, Urta Ale would be right around here. Somewhere in that. We do see the refineries in Saudi Arabia and Iraq and Kuwait are doing their thing, as well as when we look at India, a lot of SO2 pollution there as well. And very noticeable today here from Mount Etna, as well as Stromboli and Volcano pouring out into the ocean there. And yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I don't know what's causing this one here, possibly people pollution, but that is putting a higher SO2 level over top of Piggy, and hopefully she's okay. Hey, this is Kos. Let's go spy on Piggy, and let's see what we got here in Kos. I've never seen this camera before. Oh, it's a boat dock. There's Piggy's yacht. Pretty cool. Awesome. Okay. Never did that before, so I figured, hey, let's take a look. This is at the other end of the island, and we'll see. Is this a critter cam? Oh no, this is a beach cam. That's pretty awesome too. And there's one of those beaches. Oh, there was some beach goers there. Yep, nice shot. Okay, and that is what it looked like there in Kos. And pretty cool, you guys. Never, yeah, spy cams. You got it, Sasha. Greek Beach. Yep, they definitely have some of those. And that's it for our SO2. It doesn't look too bad. Northern Germany got a little bit extra there, as well as a portion of England and Holland. A little bit of that SO2. Luxembourg and Belgium look fairly clear for the most part. We also see at least 2/3 of Poland has got quite a bit there. Not very much to speak of up further north in those other places there in Finland, Sweden, or Norway. A little bit here, not sure, these wind currents. Hopefully they're getting a little warmer there in Iceland with the wind currents pushing upward, but don't know, that's usually creates rain. Antarctic, so cold, yet life thrives there. Just wow. Yep, I don't understand how a penguin can survive there. I mean, they got to go a long way to go get food. So what the heck is up with that? You know, that is really quite bizarre. Anyway, I'm going to refresh the other screen, and it is pretty much break time. So what I'm going to do is we'll finish this. Mount Erebus is in Antarctica too. Yep, it sure is. They haven't moved it, and it's too cold. Anyway, we will take a look at our worldwide weather afterwards. Oh, they named it Nalgay, I guess, is that storm by the Philippines there. So it's got a name now, so pretty awesome. And looks like it's got a friend here as well, working away. Anyway, I am your host, DrFox2000. I'm going to go take another little bit of a break. For those good people who have not yet hit that like button, please do consider hitting it to help us out. We're trying to get over that 100 mark, of course, and that'll be pretty awesome. And Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to read emails at the same time here as they're popping in. We don't need to worry about the San Andreas Fault right now. It's moving along just fine, sliding and slipping the way it should. But we'll look at that email later. And on that friendly note, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. And then we'll go from there. And yes, Oz, Mount Erebus does make everyone cold. They've got some really neat ice caves, though, with some really super duper crystals in there. So, very awesome stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put you back on warmer stuff here for a second, and then we'll let that play. So just so you keep warm. I don't want you freezing, and let's back that up a little bit. There we go. Since that can is just about empty. And all right, I'll leave it there. I'm going to go take a break, and don't go away. We'll have the weather when I come back. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and this is a VolcanoX live stream. I'll be back. And there we go. Microphone is back on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. Thank you, Sue, for the welcome back, and Thor gifted 1 membership. Wow, thanks, Thor, and welcome. And Thor gifted 1, and I'm just writing all the other. Oh my god, I sneezed. My bad. I'm allergic to Thor. Alex France got that. Wow. And that is awesome. And Alex, if you happen to be here, that is, thank you for the bless you. And Alex got a membership. That is actually really cool. And I don't know if Alex is here. He might have been watching. And but congratulations, Alex. You got a free membership for a month. Compliments of Thor. And thank you very kindly. And welcome, or thanks for the welcome backs to from Oz there, as well as Thor. And let's see, did I miss? I got Sue, so no worries. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that sneeze, otherwise I would have turned the microphone off. That was kind of weird. But, and thanks, Canada's country. And, yeah, I guess he might have just been sitting on the background watching the show. You never know, some of the guys like doing that, so always nice, and that is cool. And let's get back over to our weather, though. That's what we were looking at. I gotta stop our canned lava. That can is finite, so it will run out if we don't stop it. And from there, we'll go over to the weather map. And Grandma B, I yelled, "Bless you," to my son. Way to go, Grandma B. That's awesome, and hopefully that is all good. And that's funny in a way, but that's okay. Anyway, here we go with our weather map, and I did refresh it. We were looking at some of that cold stuff here, minus 36 degrees in some places in Greenland. Looks awful white to me. Anyway, looking at Alaska and up here in the northern portions of the Canadian territories, fairly cold, and some places minus 17, 18, 19, but what we can see here, though, is some of that warm air, and we see this ridge line here pumping that air back in, trying to get some warmth back into both British Columbia and Alberta. We did get up to about 15 degrees Celsius today here, which was really, really nice. And I see that central Alberta got most of that, a little bit up into Saskatchewan, a little warmer temperatures. Canada's country, unfortunately, didn't get quite as warm down there in the Swift Current area. But that's okay. We'll let them have the snow this year. I want to be growing palm trees here soon. Anyway, looking at the rest of Canada real quick here. Manitoba, top end fairly cool. Bottom end, they did have some reprieve as well, with some warm air filtering in. And that extended into northern Ontario a little bit, but they are still very cold in the other portions of northern Ontario. Not quite so nice down on the little foot here, if you want to call it that, from Toronto south, 5-6 degrees, depending on where you were, 9 down near Detroit area. So that's kind of what we've got. And then Montreal coming in at about 5-6 degrees as well, looking pretty cold out there. Looking cool, single digits for sure in New Brunswick, and also most of Labrador. We do see the corner here has got some really nice 14-15 degree temps. Same thing with out here in Newfoundland, up to 17 in some spots. Really nice. And Sue Hayes is enjoying her warmer weather and probably cooling down by now a little bit, somewhere around 12 or 16 at Cole Harbor. Wow, and that's still pretty awesome. And glad that it's a little bit warmer there for you, Sue. And looking at the United States, we see here in the western portions, really far west though, a little bit warmer today, and not so much of that cold Alaskan air that was coming in there from Russia, right? Anyway, we're seeing that California wasn't too bad. Down here, lost wages. I mean, Las Vegas coming in at about 15 degrees Celsius. We get down to LA about 20, 21, that kind of thing. And our Death Valley area, definitely not very hot today. You're not going to die. Put on a parka. It's only about 21, 22 degrees there. Mexicali coming in at 23. That's not bad. And Phoenix about 21, 22, depending on where you are. And same thing, well, a little cooler down in Tucson, but still relatively the same. Looks like about half the state is cold, though, looking at the Utah and Colorado, Wyoming, and of course here where Yellowstone is, quite cool, and I wouldn't want to be there. Anyway, sliding down a little bit. New Mexico, bottom end of New Mexico, a little bit warmer though. And getting into Texas, bottom end here, about 25 degrees. Somewhere down here where Boca Chica is, that's not so bad. But looking at the rest of it, they are kind of low 20s, if through the 20 mark at all. Amarillo, Texas. Sorry, frog in my throat. 13 degrees C, so about not quite 60 thereabouts, 58, 57. Anyway, that is what they've got. And then Oklahoma, not too bad, but as soon as you start getting up in the northern states here, we see it very, very cool, single digits for the most part in Celsius, of course, not in Fahrenheit. And of course, looking at Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama, those are all about equal as far as what we see, including South Carolina and a good portion of North Carolina. And there's where Grandma B's son is, who sneezed, right? Anyway, our wonderful Appalachian Mountains in here, the darker green material, and of course Virginia Beach coming in at 17, Riley only about 12 or 13, so that's all good. New York 14, Boston about 11. And of course Halifax, we kind of looked at that, 15C. Cole Harbor is about this 16 there. So anyway, a little bit nicer down here in Florida, but still not really, really hot or anything like that. Zooming out just a little bit, there we go. Looking at what we see Mexico on the Baja side here, a little bit well, I'm not going to say it's cooler than yesterday, about the same, I guess, for the most part, and not that bad in here at all. For wintertime temperatures, Cancun coming in at about 26, 27, and sliding down a little bit more through Central America. Looks pretty normal there. They're probably still getting a bunch of rain, though. And looking at what we've got here in Brazil and the Amazon for the most part, looking not so bad at, 27, 26, that kind of thing for nighttime temperatures are really good. And it has warmed up a little bit down towards the south here. So Argentina would have had a lovely day today, and they are warm almost all the way down, 2/3 of it anyway, and even Uruguay coming in at 15, 16, 17 degrees, Paraguay in the low 20s, not bad, and looking at what we've got here in Rio de Janeiro today, about 26, 27, so that'll be a little nicer there, 22, 23 in Sao Paulo, and that's kind of what we've got for South America. Looking at New Zealand real quick, and again, the eastern side of the South Island is the warmer area. We see cooler on the other side, but still not bad. It could be worse. That high is messing around with the cold air temperatures here, so that may have something to do with it. We do see the warmer stuff up in the north, 20 in some places around the coastlines, so not bad at all there in New Zealand today. Looking at this low, bringing up all that cold air, and of course that is keeping Tasmania a little bit on the cool side. They have anywhere from about 9 to 15 degrees right now. That is also responsible, that low, for bringing the cold air back into Melbourne and making Leo have to dress warmer. So that is what's happening there. We do see Adelaide at 14, 15, Sydney coming in at about 22 today, and home of the Oz, somewhere around 28 degrees Celsius. Wow, Oz, you got some nice temps there. And Perth, a little bit on the cooler side. I wouldn't say cold. 16 is okay. And we see a low here, and some real heavy heat up in the top end. And I think we're almost at the highest temperatures in the world right now. Would be right around there. 39 degrees Celsius is what we're seeing right now. So pretty awesome to see that. And sliding over through our Indonesian, Malaysian, and Philippine area, and again, now Gay is right there off the coast of the Philippines, creating all kinds of stormy stuff. And it's nice here, Doc. Thanks, Oz, for confirming that. And that is pretty cool, or warm in your case. Anyway, Bangkok coming in about 27, 28 degrees, and pretty nice there, normal temperature for there. And looking at not that bad here in Taiwan. As soon as we get up to Japan, the bottom end of Japan in the 20s, but the rest of it high teens till you get up to about the middle portion here. Then the higher elevations, of course, get cold real quick. About 16 degrees in Tokyo, and going further up, we see a nasty low here in the Sea of Japan, northern end. Gotta wonder what that's gonna do. And looking at, there's another low here. Hang on, this is circulating this, and that's gonna be a high. And that is kind of making you wonder. Anyway, going up a little bit more, Kamchatka Peninsula, yeah, cold, and Siberian areas as well, getting very cold in there. Don't want to look at that. That's too cold for me. Sliding down to India, we see it's pretty normal there right now. A little on the cool side, actually, when you're looking at it, but it is nighttime temperatures. Morning will come there fairly soon. And it'll get warmed up again by the great ball of fire in the sky, hopefully. And then we see Madagascar doing not bad, getting a little bit warmer now. We see 25, 26 on the coastline here on the western side of it. Still fairly cool down here in South Africa, 15, 16 degrees in Cape Town. Going up through most of Africa, though, 23, 24 degrees, and that's not so bad. And looking at what we've got, Cairo coming in at about 19, and still seeing a lot of that cold air pushing into the Sahara Desert. When we get out to the western coast line, though, we see up 31, 32 degrees. And just wanted to zoom in on the Canary Islands real quick. And we see 19, 20, 24 on the south end of La Palma, so they're not too bad off. Of course, that is called the European Hawaii. And looking at Saudi Arabia, UAE, and that's not bad, 24, 25 degrees depending on where you are. Oman, a little bit cooler in some spots. Same thing with Yemen, going up into Iraq. Top end 15 degrees, all the way to 13 in some spots, very close to Mosul here. And then, of course, the other stuff along Iran's coastal line, they are coastline, very warm. Higher elevations, of course, are colder. And why is turkey so darn cold? I don't like cold turkey. I like it well done and cooked, but juicy yet. Okay, gotta have a juicy turkey. Anyway, Piggy has got about 21, 21, 22 degrees there in Kos right now. So that's not so bad for her. And looking at what we see for the rest of Greece, the coastal areas are very pleasant for nighttime temps. Same thing kind of goes for what we're seeing here in Sicily. And of course, Italy, again, coastal areas are not bad. Milano, a little bit cooler today at 14. Yesterday at this time it was 16. So, and of course, this is New Monkland, and New Monkland around the coastal areas, actually not as warm as it was yesterday. A little bit kind of almost from 12 to about 16 or 17 degrees is about what I see there. 19 in a couple spots. But that's Sardinia, by the way, for those who are not familiar with New Monkland. And Spain looking like it's got some nice temperatures for nighttime right now. Same as Portugal. Very comfortable for them, I guess. And looking at France, they too seem to have some reasonable temperatures, especially down on the bottom end here. Very, very nice. And that goes all the way into Belgium and even Luxembourg, holding in at from 14 to about 16 degrees for nighttime temps. That's not bad. 17 in Cologne, or Cologne as they say there. Köln, München, or Munich, 10 degrees. Stuttgart coming in at 12. And up here in Berlin, it is 13. And Hamburg is 15 grad, or 15 degrees in Hamburg, for those who are not German. Anyway, there we go. Looking at England, they actually have not bad weather for what we're seeing in here as far as temperatures, and that is looking at pretty good down on the bottom half, above 15 C, so that is really nice. And that includes Wales. As soon as you start getting further north, though, and Sasha, you're half German? Oh no, what's the other half? Russian? With a name like Sasha, that's kind of a Russian name, isn't it? I could be Russian, could be Polish, could be Lithuanian or Romanian, or all kinds of different things. A third Polish. Okay, that is interesting. And I don't speak any Polish unless it translates to Russian. A little bit of Russian, but anyway, looking at what we see here, Scotland not bad. Looks not bad. We got a lot of wind though, and a shear line going through the middle of Ireland. That makes me wonder what they've got going on there. That low that was here has moved up a bit, So it is still drawing that Gulf Stream air up and through though, which is nice. So Doolin in Ireland would be around 12 degrees right now. And let's slide over here. I have a quick peek at Denmark. They're in 13, 14 for the most part. And Copenhagen coming in at about 14 there. Looking at Oslo today, 8, 9 degrees. Stockholm about 10, so fairly cool there. Places like Riga 12, and that's actually a surprise. And then looking here, St. Petersburg, aka Leningrad, is at 9 degrees. Moscow coming in at about 3. And looking up in the northern climates here, we see some of that warm air in this low swirling along the coastline, keeping things a little bit warmer, which is really nice. But that cold air is still sitting inside there, very, very nasty like. And of course here is Iceland, and we don't see any ice, and it's not that warm. Those air currents we've seen are lying to us. Those are going south and not north, and that is what we've got. About 2 degrees in Reykjavik and the Reykjanes Peninsula, 2-3 degrees for the most part. We might be getting some rain and stuff there as well, but that is kind of the weather patterns that we're seeing there right now. Let's have a look at our precipitation, and we'll try to do this real quick because I don't want to take another break. I just want to get it done. So, all right, seeing what we've got here up in our Alaskan area, not too much snow. Yukon, Northwest Territories, and none of it are harboring snow with a low. And we see British Columbia's coastline has got some snow and rain coming in there, and a little bit bleeding over the Rocky Mountains into Alberta. Hopefully that's not going to get us. Sliding over a little bit more, we see up in the northern prairie provinces a little bit dipping down from the territories. Not that bad though. A little bit of a lake effect rain there, and that would be in Minnesota. It looks pretty dry in the rest of Ontario, and then of course northern Quebec and portions of Labrador here getting nailed, and of course New Brunswick, pretty dry there. A little bit of rain in Nova Scotia, and also seeing some rain here on the warmer areas here in Newfoundland. Moving over to the U.S. a little bit. I didn't even notice down south British Columbia ice rain, and that has even got into Washington a little bit. But for the most part, everything is dry there, with the exception of getting into Colorado a little bit and northern New Mexico. And we see what looks like possibly a low point in here, and that is right around Armadillo. And hopefully that's not too bad, but we do see some of that rain going up Wichita northward, and that is all the way up to Sioux Falls, I see. And looking in the eastern portions of the U.S., we do have some rain in Florida. Not that much though. Little storms, and nothing up the eastern coastline, so that is good. A little bit in Mexico, not too much in the other portions of Central America until you get down to past Costa Rica and Panama for the most part. But then we see our rainforest areas still have some moisture happening there as well. All the way a little heavier here in northern part of Bolivia, and then we see the stuff down on the bottom here in Chile. And it's trying to be chilly, but it's not happening. It's turning into a spring there. And New Zealand, real quick, and we see this guy here, that low, that horrible low, bringing that cold air in and causing that rain to fall. And that's what we're seeing on the western side of the island. We know the eastern side is a lot warmer, as we've seen in our temperatures. And a little bit on the coastlines here of the North Island, not that bad. Tasmania getting nailed with a lot of rain right now, and same thing with Leo's house here in Melbourne, and not too bad for the rest of Australia. A few patches of rain here and there, and I'm sure it's still very welcome there. And then seeing what we've got out here in our other areas of Tofua, Tonga area. Um, Not too bad. We do see that storm just off Fiji and New Caledonia area here. We got that low. And looking at, of course, our Indonesian, Malaysian, and Philippine areas, lots of storms. Bangkok is looking like it's getting some rain, and of course that's Nalgay sitting out here in the sea of the Philippine Sea. It continues to churn away, and we're seeing that. So they're probably getting nailed with lots of bad weather, lots of rain. Japan, pretty dry for the most part until you get up in the north there. I see the northern portions of the Sea of Japan has that nasty low and some rain there. Kamchatka Peninsula, snow. Go figure. And here in the western portions of the Aleutian Islands, I'm not looking too good. Eastern portions really not that good either, with all that snow that they're getting, and that is happening all the way along. So, yeah, west coast of North America getting some of that. Looking at what we've got going on, Madagascar, not bad. Little bit of rain down in South Africa. And of course, our rainforest areas are still doing their thing there, and sliding up, and not worrying about those other places. We don't see any rain coming for Piggy, unfortunately. No rain, still dry there, and that is not so good. Anyway, I was seeing here, just skirting along Spain and Portugal, that storm system, and that is going up straight through Ireland. We've got, 1, 2, 3 lows here, and that is going to perpetuate this whole storm system a little bit more yet in the near future. France has got some rain, very, very little in Germany and over here in Holland, not bad. Northern portions of Denmark getting some rain, as well as southern portions of Sweden, as well as here in Norway. And then here's that warmer air where that low is, and yep, they're getting some rain on the coast and ice rain a little further in, and of course up in the northern portions of Sweden and in Finland, there's ice rain and the snow there as well. Looking at what we've got here in Iceland, it's actually not bad. A bunch of fog in for the most part. A couple spots with a little bit of rain, but that's what we're seeing, fog. And that is, of course, for nighttime stuff. And of course, we see this nasty thing here. I don't know where this low is going to go, if it's going to migrate out here, or go downward or go upward. We'll see what happens. We do have that high sitting up here in Baffin Bay. So Davis Strait is the only place that this is going to be able to try to move into. But we'll see. We'll see what it does within a day or two. Anyway, let's put it back on temperatures. We'll find our coldest temperature of the day, and that should be down here somewhere in this big refrigerator down at the bottom of the screen. And let's see what we've got. So far, I'm not hitting 100 here or anything. Let's see. Wow. Minus 59, minus 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Okay, we'll zoom in on minus 65, see if we can find anything colder. And doesn't look like it. No, I'm gonna give up on minus 65 degrees Celsius today, and I don't see anything lower than that. At least not in that area. So unless we can hit 66 or 67, but yep, a minus 65, and oh, penguins will have chicks now. Yep, they're going there. They're going to go have babies, and we'll get more baby penguins. That'll be cute, and a whole herd of them. Get it? Yeah. Well, we know that they come in herds, but that is pretty awesome. And that is pretty cold though, minus 65 degrees Celsius. And yes, it is tied again, Sharon Stewart. So that is both get a chicken dinner. Oh wow! All right, who's delivering the chicken dinner? I'll take it. Please make sure that you include a couple keels. I really do like those breast plates there, and lots of meat there. That's what I want. All right, well done though. Still juicy, but well done. You know, good quality stuff. And on that friendly note, it is time to pack it up here, you guys. And thank you everyone for being here today. And it's all a big thank you to each and every one of you here in the Lava family. And of course, also, we didn't have any super chatters, but we did have Oz gifted one. Some guy named Dr. Fox gifted one membership, and then some other guy named Thor gifted one. So those are our shout outs for those guys. And thank you very kindly for gifting those, Oz and Thor. You guys are awesome. And big thank you to every one of you that is a member in here, also just everyone in general, because you're all part of that Lava family. So thank you kindly for being here, and thank you kindly for supporting the stream and being a part of our wonderful show. Joseph Puderer, happy trails, Doc, and thanks. I appreciate that, Joseph. And on that friendly note, also a big thank you to Arizona Snowman, Peggy, C&D Boy, Gary, 24/7 Live, VZ Skies, and any of the other moderators that were lurking in the background. Thank you, everyone, and that is awesome. And that wraps up our show tonight. So for all of you, please remember, the most important thing is tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and you've been watching a VolcanoX live stream. Take care, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow, and keep smiling. Oink, oink.